Hey, what's up guys, this is Astranox and I'm back from another Epic 7 video. So we got a free 5-star hero, Zeno. His memory imprint starts at 4.8% effectiveness. I'm gonna go through the challenge in a second. So yeah, I got one copy of him so far. I'm gonna test him out when I finish building him. So Zeno has surprisingly high base speed, like 115. That's amazing. And he has silence for one turn. It's not 100% chance. He gets a bit of effectiveness out of the awakening, but 115 is quite good. And like you could open with this thing in arena, let's say. This is I mean 70% chance is good. It's gonna stay at 4-turn cooldown. There's no -1 turn. And I mean, you open with him straight up, like you could potentially silence a few heroes, and that's huge. And you get the bleeding on top. So let's say you could be covering your silence debuff. So meaning if they have a hero, let's say like a Diane that can clear out one debuff, maybe she's gonna remove bleeding instead of the silence. So yeah, it's quite nice, and the damage scales off of max health, base, like all of it, like both skills. This passive, the thing is, this passive is mostly gonna shine in PvP, because in PvE most of the time you're not fighting enemies that have non-attack skills, meaning like most of the time their attack skill also triggers like a buff, or they have a passive that triggers a buff. It's not like a non-attack skill in most cases, but there is quite a few enemies with non-attack skills in the game still. The thing is, let's say you use them in raid, you could potentially, because his stats are pretty good. I mean, this defense is quite high. High defense. The health is, I mean, it's 5,000. It's very good for a mage. So you could have him max health in the front line, let's say, and he's gonna build survival with this thing. And this buff is gonna carry through, like between waves. Or between encounters in the raid, because it says that it stacks to 10 times, but it doesn't say that it expires, so that's quite huge. And you get damage increase on that as well. So you could run him with the Prophetic Candlestick. But let's talk about the challenge. Stun, yeah, I cannot do that against a boss. Most bosses are immune to silence, but still he's gonna have his uses. So let's talk about this challenge. Alright, so Arrogant Zeno, it's a arena PvP battle style. Normal, easy, hard. I mean, for me, I tried Epic Hell and it was very hard. Out of the reputation, if you just do 40 fights, even if you just do normal, you can, oh wait, sorry, hard 40 times, you can get him if you're unlucky. The drop rates are 3%, 3% for 10 energy, 7% for 15 energy, 20% for 30 energy, and 50% for 60 energy. So the difference between Hell and Epic Hell in difficulty is huge. And for double the amount of energy required, and it's only a 50% drop increase. Well, I mean, if you compare energy to energy, because like from 30 to 60, that's double the energy, and then you go from 20% chance to 50% chance to get him. So I don't think it's worth doing. You could just do this much more easily, because if you fail here, because I did that, I tried it and I died on the first wave. I mean, I probably Could have set up my group differently. This is the group I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna use Diane. Move Diane's gear onto Angelica, and this is a 3-star and 4-star hero group. Now let's talk about the first wave. Is you're gonna be facing 3 snow slimes, and skill 1, pierce the enemy with a 50% chance to provoke for 1 turn. Prioritize attacking the foremost enemy, so that can be annoying. Weigh down the enemy to inflict damage before granting increased attack to the caster for 2 turns. So 3-turn cooldown, and it lasts 2 turns. Does damage and then does the increased attack buff. Rage attack increases dramatically every time an ally dies, so that's why it can be very hard to deal with in harder difficulties. The more you kill, the harder it becomes. So you could, if you're having trouble, you might want to rely on stuns and provokes on these guys. If you really want to do like the harder difficulty, or even like someone that can easily do hard might have a hard time in hell, and people that can do hell are gonna have a hard time to do epic hell. But maybe you're doing normal and you try to do hard. What I can tell you is that the event is gonna last 3 weeks, and you should not rush into it, meaning that if you can only do normal, just wait, guys. Wait until you can do hard, because you can actually get him after 40 times, or at least get an extra copy if you want to do the memory imprint. Now it's usually you need to farm 8 Zeno to get the triple S memory imprint. And effectiveness is good. It's gonna affect everyone on the team beside himself, and it's gonna give more effectiveness than Cyrilla, I believe, because it's a 5-star memory imprint. Because I can't my Cyrilla is triple S, and he's only have 1 copy. So yeah, well, yeah, I only have 1 of him. So here in the battle, yeah, that's the first wave, and it was doing ridiculous damage. They were like almost one-shotting my heroes. And then you're gonna be facing him with these 2, Midnight Remus and Foolish Remus. Now I only did the runs on auto, and when you do auto, it just targets the boss. Thing is, these ads, the decreased combat rating has 30%. Invokes a wicked power to attack all enemies before increasing attack of all allies except for the caster for 2 turns. So yeah, just buffing everyone except the caster, buffing the other 2. And if it already has increased attack, it's gonna boost combat readiness by 30% and increase critical hit chance for 2 turns. So it can become quite dangerous. And you got a 30% chance to activate wicked power when attacked. Also receiving lethal damage. After receiving lethal damage, regenerates to max health and become immune for 1 turn. So even if you try to take them down, they will just become immortal. No, wait, immune. Immune is immortality, or is it immune to debuffs? One second. Just check Kayron. Wait. Am I blind? Oh, there he is. Yeah, immortality. He's immune to debuffs. Because, Angelica gives immunity. So it's just gonna be immune to debuffs. Okay, let me go through the other ad and go in there real quick. Then he's pretty much the same deal. Decrease combat readiness 30%, increase attack if they already have increased attack, boost combat readiness. Oh, and this one gives speed. So they're gonna have increased attack. They're gonna have, well, the Zeno is gonna have increased attack, increased crit chance, and increased speed over the course of the fight. And they're gonna keep on reducing combat readiness with their first kill. And also, if you already have increased attack, you get 30% combat readiness, speed for 2 turns, and after attacking has 30% chance to be granted an extra turn. So there's some RNG that, like, you could be taking some burst damage. So receive lethal damage, regenerates to max health, and become immune for 1 turn. Wait, this thing doesn't have a cooldown, so you can't kill them. Yeah, because it doesn't have a turn cooldown. What the hell? So I didn't try to kill them, but yeah, you can't kill them. Alright, so let's get in there. Oh, and Zeno, of course. He stuns. Well, his skills are going to be different. He doesn't even silence. Attacks to enemy with a Thorn, dispelling all buffs. With a 50% chance to stun for 1 turn, grants an extra attack if the caster is buffed. Now he's gonna be buffed, so you want to debuff him so he doesn't get all the buffs. And like, you don't want him to have the buffs because he's just gonna attack again, and he's just gonna stun, and dispel every time. Super annoying. So that's the ultimate. 4 turn cooldown. Makes them unhealable for 1 turn. Damage dealt increases proportional to the number of buff granted to the caster. So once again, more buffs, more danger. Increase combat readiness by 20% and grants stackable increased attack and speed to the caster when enemy use a non-attack skill. Yeah, that is a passive that is quite annoying. So every time you use a non-attack skill, he's getting combat readiness and he's stacking attack and speed. So yeah. Alright, let's get in there. Thing is, I have Falconer Clury, which can dispel buffs. She can provoke as well, but he's immune to provoke. He's also immune to poison, so you can't use poison. And yeah, I mean, my team has Angelica buffing, giving debuff immunity, giving barrier, and I got Silk that's giving speed for the whole team, and Sid is buffing his own speed. Yeah. So yeah, that's you will see the stunning is super annoying. So the slimes, they're getting stronger. The more of them dead, more damage they deal. You could burst them down, but if you're like, you could not be able to burst them down. So you might want to try to stun or provoke to have them attack your tank. Just put a super tanky hero in the front line. Oh, here it is. Like, he just removed the buffs. Now he couldn't stun because it's like his stunning happens before the dispel. Now my Silk is putting speed down debuff on the ads, which is making them less of a threat. It's quite helpful. Everyone can get Silk, and she's very good in this fight because, I mean, Zeno is ice based and Silk is earth, so that's another plus. Gonna be easier to land your debuffs. Reducing his combat readiness is gonna be quite helpful. If you're manualing, if you're, let's say, running a similar team composition, if you want to make your life easier. I'm just running this on auto, but you could use your Archie, Guardian #1, to get attack buff and crit chance buff. It's gonna speed up your run, because that's what the team composition is missing. It's attack buff, and well, the Archie gives crit chance buff as well, so that's another plus. But this one was very easy. This was a very quick one. It's almost like I have to do it again. But I need more copies of him. Here's the battle result. I had some runs where Angelica healed for 60,000, 70,000. But this run was ridiculously easy though. It almost feels like it wasn't even hell difficulty. So yeah, I'm gonna go back in there. Some of the rewards, like, it's the usual stuff, like tier 4, item level 44. And I mean, if you get ring or necklace charms, that's always a plus, because all the other ones, they can be gained from adventures. And yeah, of course, if you do pull Zeno that's early, that's a very big save on the energy side, because it could be very like, it could take a long time for you to get him 8 times. Now it might be, you're gonna have to decide, will you introduce him part of your core? What I would say is get 2 copies of him, get him twice, and you can at least unlock the memory imprint. So, and when you unlock it, the initial boost is always stronger than the next ones. The next ones are usually like around like half the strength of the initial one. So go with 2, and then or I mean, it depends what difficulty you can clear. If it's like on the lower difficulties, like normal or hard, just get one of them. Put some gear onto him and test him out. See if you feel if you like his skills. Look at that. If you think he could be part of your core group. If, let's say, you're lucky and you have a 5-star Mage artifact, that would be another plus. Like I have the one that reduce cooldown by 1 turn whenever my Mage goes, so that could be quite nice. In PvP, you could use the 4-star artifact that gives you souls when I'm gonna have to go through his skill. Gives you souls when the battle starts, so you could soul burn with your main damage dealer, your cleaver, or whatever. Caster does not suffer critical hit if buffed. Yeah, so if the buffing starts, it's gonna start to become very tedious. He's gonna take way less damage, and if he has too many buffs, he's gonna counter attack. Mental focus, dispel 1 debuff from all allies when the caster's turn ends. Yeah, so even if you drop speed down on the ads, it will he's just gonna start dispelling one at a time though. So if you have a hero that drops multiple debuffs, at least it's only one at a time. And he's immune to poison, as you can see here. So really, you don't want him to gain momentum. You definitely don't want to let him like, even here I'm struggling. You don't want him to be fully buffed. Like right now, he's starting to be buffed. So I have to rely on Falconer Flurry to take out those buffs. Look at that, like you saw that, what happened? Like, he's just going non-stop. Wow. You know, I just lost. That's the first time I lose in this place. That's the first time. That's you have to pay attention when you're in there. This goes to show you that, yeah, like, forget about epic hell. Just the first wave is already crazy. Don't even bother with it. So I'm just gonna keep on talking about his skills when we get to that wave. I could use my Guardian to make the fight faster, but I just want to show you the mechanic and how, like, when he starts building momentum, that's when you could be in big trouble. I don't have an attack buffer. I could use my Guardian, but let's say on auto, it's not that bad because Sid and Silk are based on attack and speed, and I already have the speed buff, but I mean, it's getting dispelled quite often, all my stuff. But it's not that huge of a deal, but I do have it from the Guardian if I want to manual. And I have 2 sources of defense down, and defense down is way stronger than attack buff. It's twice as powerful if you're using attack buff on heroes that scale based on attack only. So Star's armor, increased combat readiness 20%. Stackable, yeah, we talked about that. Definitely like don't want him to just like don't drag the fight for too long. But I believe this was dispellable. Yeah, that attack and speed increase is dispellable. So yeah, that's the dispel and the 50% chance to stun. So yeah, you definitely don't want buffs on him. You might want to bring a hero that has a dispel on skill 1 almost, because like Clury might not be enough. Her cooldown are pretty short. What you could do as well is, even if you do have Aureus, you could put Clury in the front line. Like I have Angelica, so she can have her she got Prophetic Candlestick, 3-star artifact, that when she gets attacked she has a chance to reduce her skill cooldown by 1 turn. Let's say you put Clury in front, you're gonna get attacked more often, and well, usually. And then with Prophetic Candlestick, especially if you don't have Aureus, it's gonna have her ultimate ready more often, which means you're gonna be able to dispel more often. And that thing, well, 4-turn cooldown. Like you see, like what's going on here. It's like it's luck based too. Like especially if you're running this on auto. But even if you're manualing, let's say, yeah, it could be pretty. It's pretty RNG. Very random what could happen. Now he's buffed. He's doing the ultimate. But yeah, I got debuff immunity. But take your time, guys. You got 3 weeks to work on him. Like, look at that. Look at that. Like, he's just about to die, but like, it's getting crazy. Just kill him already. I'm gonna pop my Guardian and cheat. So yeah, so you can't use poison. That's it's unfortunate when he doesn't have any buffs. Like use a lot of damage. I'm gonna check the battle result after this, and we'll see. But I didn't try to kill an ad. It's almost like I have to do another run. Okay, let me do another run and try to kill an ad. So yeah, we see how much damage was taken by the group. Angelica with 32,000 healing done. Clury with 10,000. It's a lot of damage taken. It's a lot of damage. So I need to run him more anyways. I need to get an extra copy at the very least. I do have a set of gear with very high health. But if you use him in PvP, you want to open with him, let's say to drop silence, you're gonna have to build him on speed, because he's got a great base speed. That ultimate could be devastating for the enemy team. Alright, another run. Let's let me like straight up target one of the ads. I'm probably just gonna use the Guardian to facilitate this whole thing. Yeah, Mag. If you put unhealable, will they get healed? The ads. Oh, whoops. Also, we'll see. If you do have a hero that has if you have a hero that can reduce combat readiness or has a AoE stun or a bunch of area debuffs, that's great. I'm just gonna like target him again. Wait. Okay. He's just gonna keep on doing it. So it's like I said, you've got to just keep on focusing on Zeno. If you don't have Angelica, you can use another healer like Akatis. I mean, you're getting your buff dispelled all the time, so like you don't need the buff immunity. It's almost better to have Akatis, because if she has high effect resistance, you could just clear the stun with her, and she just like heals and take the debuff off. Got the immortality she can apply, and she has attack down debuff. She's fire based, but if you build her tanky, you won't be able to have her in the front line though. Yeah, that is super annoying. You just can't take out the ads. Like straight up resurrects. That's a resurrect mechanic. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave. So yeah, you could use Doris as well if you're lucky enough to have her. Doris, the 3-star light healer. The problem is her continuous healing will be removed quite often. That's an issue though. Yeah, that I guess it wouldn't work too well. You're gonna need some burst healing. I feel like Destina could be a good contender for this fight actually, because with all the spelling going off, you need some pure healing, and Destina's gonna provide that for you. And you could bring Armin. Yeah, Armin got barrier. He got like a really nice kit, but poison won't work. But decrease hit chance, increase defense for himself, and I mean, Armin's really good. Stunning won't work, but you could, if you're manualing, you could use try to stun the ads, buy you time. That could be a strategy. But as you saw, you just can't take them out. Clary, if you haven't built her, I recommend building her. She's very, very good. Jet, continuous healing will not be working, so that it's just gonna be taken off. Lot, same thing, continuous healing. He's so good though, but it's unfortunately not gonna work, because you rely heavily on the continuous healing, which gives you 15% of your health back every time it ticks, every time you take a turn. Now, in terms of heroes, of course, you should focus more with the Earth Heavy team, and you could bring Yuna, I guess. It's just that the damage against the ads is just gonna be it's just gonna inflate her damage for nothing. It's like, as you saw, they just keep on reviving, so that's kind of useless. And she won't get the damage boost to single target the boss, because it's always going to be 3 targets. So that wouldn't work. If you have Diane, of course, like use her. When I did use her, yeah, I mean, he keeps on dispelling, but yeah, of course the attack buff is going to be nice. If he gets the increased crit chance buff, You got the anti-crit buff from Diane. You got the Godly Barrier. You can remove debuffs with the barrier. The skill 2 as well. Now, who else in terms of support? Yeah, Angelica, of course. I guess you could use Bask with the immunity, but I mean, Bask can at least remove. He can remove buffs off of the enemy, and it dispels all the buffs. So he could be a good contender for the fight. I mean, the immunity and the barrier is going to be taken away. You might need some speed on him because 4-turn cooldown, definitely going to need Prophetic Candlestick. And who else? Montmorency, she can clear debuffs and heals. She could be a good contender. You might want to soul burn her to give immunity for the whole team. And you could, if you're manual, you could try to sleep one of the ads. That could be a strategy right there. And fire-based, really, like, boss is ice, so not the best, to be honest. But if you want to bring, maybe you only have a Kates as your support healer. So yeah, if she's tanky, it's gonna be fine. Like I said, the dispel plus healing is very good. I have her on my alt account. She's amazing. Top tier healer, like definitely. I like her much more than this Tina. Well, she has a different kit compared to Angelica. The invincibility could be quite useful, especially if you manual. Decrease attack is huge. That's one of the strongest debuff in the whole game. I mean, it is the strongest debuff in the game because you can apply it against bosses. It just cuts their attack in half. And who else could you bring in there? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bring other heroes from here. You could try to burst the boss down with because this scales off the enemy's max health. So if you have very high crit chance and crit damage on Nemunas, you could try to like kind of two-shot the boss, like go twice with that thing. Might need this area to reset your cooldown or just wait the whole 5 turn. You're gonna need some very high crit damage, maybe even like destruction set, like 300% crit damage on her. So it's gonna scales off of the health. I mean, if you've got, of course, any of the Earth heroes is gonna have an advantage against that boss. If you can control the ads, stun them, if you can slow them down, it's always gonna be a plus. If you can reduce their combat readiness, like a hero that I got is Celeste, 3-star light, and with her skill 2 she keeps on spamming it. If she, well, above 80% health, it's gonna be hard in this battle, sorry, but you could reduce combat readiness of the boss and both ads quite often. Thing is, she's gonna be targeted, so it wouldn't work too well. Anyways, I guess this covers it. Yeah, I went pretty in depth in there, but I hope this was helpful to some of you guys. Good luck with the farming. I believe he's definitely worth getting at least one time, at least one. Like maybe you never know. There's a battle, you get more into arena. Maybe you don't have any 5-star. It's a great opportunity to just grab him, because I mean. But about the triple S'ing the memory imprint, effectiveness is always useful. It's not gonna affect him, but if you're gonna use him heavily in arena, effectiveness is godly. You definitely need effectiveness, so yeah, go for it. It's gonna be it's gonna take a lot of energy, guys, like to triple S him. And don't do a difficulty that you can't handle. But if you can handle it, pay attention if you auto, because it can be really rough if he gets momentum with the buffing. And let's say you get unlucky with the removal of his buffs with, let's say, Cleary or another hero. Just pay attention, because I mean, losing 30 energy in hell here and there, it adds up. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. And press the bell icon if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video. Also, my gear, I forgot to show it. Let me sort this by CP. Yeah, I could have used Kisei, but I wanted to showcase a team of 3 and 4 stars only. So my skill ups, Sid, Silk, Angelica, and Clury. I could definitely get more skill ups on Angelica, and it would make things much easier. Just pause if I go too quick. My gear on Sid is very good for where I'm at in the game right now. For in terms of after 70 days, I'm on 71 day now. Got a video of my free-to-play progress in the game up to now after 70 days. I'm gonna be releasing it probably after this one. I've been holding it because now there's the event, the patch, and all that. So I wanted to just release it later because this is a bigger priority. So I can show you this video and help you out with the battle. I know you might be rushing into it, even if you can handle the boss too well in higher difficulty. Maybe you just want to luck out and get a copy of him ASAP. I mean, he looks good, so yeah, go for it. And as the battle drags on, the stronger he gets, which is really cool. But yeah, I'll do some testing with him for sure, so you can check those out in a day or two, I guess. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I'm out for now. Check out my other videos, they should be on the screen. Guides, gameplay videos, all sorts of things. Check me out, so many videos. Peace out for now.